I've been wanting to make this kind of video for a long while now. Both for you, my little pogchamps who've been watching me ever since I started streaming 5 years ago, and for me to commemorate this huge turning point in my life and remember a few years from now. An Animate My Life video. I have never made this kind of video, so I have no idea what I'm doing, and summarizing a full life in a few minutes is quite difficult, but I'll try my best. I was born in 1998 in an old small town to the center south of Israel, where I grew up with my mother, father, and two older sisters. And I love my family. Ever since I can remember, they were always there to support me, no matter how hard or complex things were. Even though my parents got divorced when I was very young, it made no difference, because they were very cooperative to make sure that the family dynamics will stay intact. My dad lives just a couple of blocks from my house, and we hang out regularly all the time. As for me, I was always a very emotional and sentimental person on the inside. And despite my talkative nature, I was very shy and introvert around big crowds. Still am, actually. But it didn't stop me from finding my own friends group and fulfill the role of the crazy goofball that I am today. And when it comes to hobbies, I always enjoyed movies, video games, creativity, and this whole concept of human creation. However, I had a huge shadow of imposter syndrome growing up. A non-stop feeling that I'm never fully fulfilling my creative potential. I did not enjoy learning, and I suffered from ADHD and learning disabilities throughout 12 years of school. And I also always felt that I'm not as active, hardworking, or talented as the other kids. I was not successful with the ladies, I was ever too shy to even try and dare to approach a girl. And whenever I somehow got lucky and find myself in a relationship, they usually dumped me after a month or two. It was a recurrent pattern. But eventually, thanks to the help of my family and some private tutoring, I finished high school with my high school diploma, and I was not ready for the next step of my life. As most of you probably know, Israel is a country that is constantly at war. I was still too young to fully comprehend what it means until quite recently. In various points in my childhood, I've been told, when you hear a siren, go to the shelter. If you hear a siren outside, you duck next to an object and cover your head. It even happened on stream a couple of times.
So I started sprinting towards his house, knocking really hard.
So due to Israel's constant existential threat, military service is mandatory once someone reaches the age of 18. So a month after I graduated high school, my time to enlist in the army has arrived. Which was scary enough as it is. Can you imagine this transition of an unsure 18 years old boy all of a sudden finding himself in the military? I didn't have enough character development to even want to serve in the army or comprehend my own skills and ambition and what it means to be in the army. During the enlisting, all I was thinking was getting any kind of role that doesn't involve fighting. Eventually, through a roll of the dice, I ended up being a commander in a military police arrest center. In other words, a warden. Yeah, I was basically just a warden for our own soldiers from the army who committed minor military rule breaking, like going AWOL or refusing to shave. Looking back, it was basically one big summer camp. My role was to manage the schedule of soldiers who were locked up for literally all day long with no phone and nothing else to do besides driving us crazy. And trust me, it was hella annoying most of the time, but looking back I only remember the funny stuff that came out of it. Anyway, 3 long years of patience and endurance. The patience paid off because after that came the best part of my life so far. After the army, I was free to choose my own road. I can do whatever I want. I don't have to go to school, I don't have to go to the army, I don't have to go anywhere that I don't want to go. At first I was excited. Then I was like,
now what?
Which brings us to the next act of our journey. I guess we can categorize it as, I know, career. Yeah, we all get to the part in life where we need to look for a job because we need money, we need those greens. And this is also something I was very scared to do. I never worked a day in my life. I didn't really want to work when I had any other thing to do at the same time, like school or the army. But now I had no excuse. I gotta get a job. I need that money. Now you guys know what my main career was. But before that came along, I was working at Domino's for 8 months. And I was making YouTube videos of VR chat at the same time, just for fun. However, my channel never grew. But while playing VR chat, I kept hearing people say, "Hey, have you checked out my stream? Hey, look at that, I'm streaming right now. Hey, I'm streaming. Oh, by the way, I hope you don't mind me actually doing this and that for the stream. By the way, I am streaming right now, so, you know, no big deal, but I'm streaming right now. I'm a streamer and all that." I have never heard of Twitch before or streaming or knew what it was. I just heard people constantly talking about it. And I don't remember what it was that one day made me say, maybe I'll try streaming. But I did. And before I knew it, out of nowhere, something incredible happened. People were coming in to watch. People were enjoying talking to me. People were enjoying my quirky personality and the stuff I have to say. And even more amazing, people started donating. I did not expect donations. I was just doing all that for fun. And somehow within a few months, I reached Twitch partner. For me, that was one of my greatest achievements yet so far. In other words, my channel became special. And not just special because it was me actually building a business where I can work from the comforts of my home playing video games. That's not what made it special. What made it special is that people kept telling me how my streams cheer them up. My streams make them laugh. My voice is pleasant to just play in the background. My chat made me feel like I'm not the nobody that I always thought that I am. And my chat made me feel accepted, desired, helped me recognize what it is about me that I should love. Okay, I'm sorry if that became too wholesome and corny for a moment there. But I meant every word, it had to be said. I am very sentimental. So anyways, once I started making more money from Twitch, I bid farewell to my job at Domino's and farewell to those stinky, icky, annoying, spiky, oily little anchovy fish that I constantly had to touch and put on the pizza. Like, who the fuck eats anchovy on pizza? Like, no offense, but if you eat anchovy on pizza, there is something wrong with you. But yeah, long story short, I stopped working at Domino's and I started working as my dream job as a streamer for the past 5 years. And like I mentioned, my time on VR chat and with my audience on Twitch has been the most important and impactful moment of my life so far. Until I decided I don't want to do that anymore. At least not full time, and that it's time for a career change. Now I know what some of you might be thinking, or at least some people have asked me, wait, so you're making good money from playing video games and entertaining people who love you and you love them from the comforts of your home? Why the hell would you stop? Now the short version of the answer to that question would basically be, I changed. But that would be an understatement. I didn't just change, I transformed. I bloomed. In a very short period of time, a series of events all hit at once, making me realize that the most crucial turning point of my life has just been reached. So there it is, my life all wrapped up in one fast-forward summary. Just the highlights really, but behind each moment, there's a story, a struggle, a whole journey. Every single chapter you saw here, it wasn't just a passing by moment. Each of them was its own challenge, one I had to conquer. And yeah, they all deserve their each deep dive. Like I said in the beginning, when I started making this video, I didn't really know if I was getting it right. If I could capture how each chapter built up to this big change. But everything you've seen, it's been leading to that turning point I just hinted at. The one that ties this whole journey together. Which is why, in order to elaborate about this big change that recently happened, I feel like I had to first recap everything that happened in my life so far. So consider this Volume 1, and stay tuned for the next video. This journey has only begun. Oh, and by the way, feel free to leave a comment. I will be reading and replying to them all. And don't be shy to mention if there's anything you want me to change or improve in case I make any more of these kind of videos. Thank you for watching.